Welcome to Cyprus, where ancient history meets holiday hedonism. But there will be no relaxation for the crews. The Mediterranean heat and car-breaking rocks make this one of the toughest tests of the season. Championship is simmering nicely, with Marco Martin, Sebastian Loeb, Marcus Grönholm and Petter Solberg separated by just 3 points. Solberg won here last year, and coming off the back of a hard-fought win in New Zealand, he should be at the top of his game.
Things are going very well, but still, on this rally everything can take you out if you see all the rocks out there.
Marcus Grönholm knows all about the big rocks. He won in Cyprus in 2002, but this was his only finish in 4 attempts.
Now it seems to be very bad. Also this year. The worst, I think, what it has been. So it will be difficult, yes.
This is Marco Martin and co-driver Michael Park's 50th rally together. The championship leader will hope to improve on his best placing in Cyprus, 6th in 2000. So here are those drivers' standings. Can one of the big four take an advantage here? Or can Francois Duval or Carlos Sainz, another previous Cyprus winner, get in on the act? In the Manufacturers' Championship, Ford hold the lead from Citroën, with Peugeot third. So how do you prepare for the rough and tumble of this rally? It's gloves on for Marcus Grönholm to help build up a body strength to cope with those punishing stages, while Mitsubishi's Christian Solberg settled for some of the more conventional pursuits offered by this holiday island. The island of Cyprus is at the eastern end of the Mediterranean, closer to Asia than it is to the European mainland. Rally HQ is in the resort town of Limassol, with the stages marked in red taking place in the Troodos Mountains to the north and east of the town. For 18 stages in total, 6 on each of the 3 days.
The seas rather than the roads caused the first problems in Cyprus. The ship carrying rally cars, recce cars, all the team's equipment was delayed by a storm and arrived 2 days late. So a tempestuous start to the event, a frantic rush to prepare the service park, with organisers considering cutting the rally to 2 days. As the recce cars were at sea, the crews had to hire off-road, right-hand drive 4x4s for the recce, not ideal preparation. But through hard work and compromise, the rally goes ahead as planned. The drivers reunited with their cars for the shakedown practice stage. Though Mikko Hirvonen made heavy weather of it, having overcome time and tide, a driver error very nearly ended his rally before the start. So it's been a struggle just to make it to here. And Marco Martin, out first as the championship leader, has even more of a struggle. He'll be clearing the road for those behind him. And this year it's particularly tough, with dangerous rocks, deep ruts and a layer of loose, slippery gravel. The rally has a reputation as a car breaker. This year it could be a car destroyer. Second out is Sebastian Loeb. He's competed here only once. He did, though, finish third on his Cyprus debut last year.
Et gauche 80 plus long tard, pas corde de sortie.
But this year, on these rutted roads, he's finding it a challenge just to keep 4 wheels on the ground.
Et droite 120 bon.
He trails Martin by 41 seconds over this, the longest stage.
Sebastian, just over 38 kilometers. How was the stage?
Very bad. The time is very bad. I have not a good feeling with the car. We are bumping everywhere.
It's been a full year since Marcus Grönholm won a rally, but he feels the 307's improved enough to challenge. Here, though, he has to balance aggression with caution. Even so, he's 20 seconds faster than the road-sweeping Martin. The defending world champion is also defending his record here. Petter Solberg last
Caution,
year's
slow
winner.
line into 2 left minus, tightens,
The
1
new
minus.
evolution of the Impreza
Double
is looking
tightens,
impressive,
narrow.
and so Solberg.
30 over kinks.
He must be close
Short
to
by right
Grönholm's
off.
time.
Opens half long.
This is
30.
faster by 4.6 seconds, and he goes into the lead. Fourth-young Belgium Francois Duval has never finished in Cyprus. That doesn't sound too healthy.
Okay, arrête.
And that sounds even worse. In fact, he's lost his front left wheel. Stranded on stage 1 and forced to retire.
2 kilometers just before here, some of the wheels is moving and just 2 kilometers before here. Maybe some of the wheels nut is broken, and also the pads off, the wheels off. I don't know exactly some of the wheels now, so sure it's bad luck for me.
You can be sure he won't be the last casualty, though Carlos Sainz will be hoping he's not amongst them. He won the first Cyprus rally back in 2000 and feels this event is important after a middling performance in New Zealand, but he's already beset by difficulties. That is the gear panel breaking. They'll have to change gear manually, and he finishes the stage trailing Solberg by 23 seconds. And as there are another 2 stages before service, he has to do some emergency repairs on the road section heading towards stage 2. No such hassles for Harry Rovanperä. He's performed strongly in Cyprus, second last year, and goes well over stage 1, 1.8 seconds behind leader Solberg, ahead of teammate Grönholm. Now Rovanperä would love that final result to reflect his current standing. Whatever anyone else wants to prove in Cyprus, Mitsubishi have most need of an encouraging display. But over stage 1, Christian Solberg is 8th fastest.
Confirmation of Solberg's lead after stage 1. The gap to second-placed Harry Rovanperä, 1.8 seconds. Marco Martin and Sebastian Loeb, the big losers on this opening stage.
As the morning progresses, the heat rises, in the hills and in the cars. It's certainly uncomfortable for Gilles Panizzi. He doesn't know how much he can push the Mitsubishi before, as he puts it, it breaks. The rotted roads are certainly punishing, but he does enough to take 9th place, leapfrogging Christian Solberg, who has problems with his anti-lag system. And problems continue for Mikko Hirvonen after that scare during shakedown. The Cyprus dust making its way into the cockpit. He'd spent a week acclimatising, preparing for the heat, but the dust an additional irritation.
And
Marco Martin's main irritation is being first on the road.
33 right close.
Loose gravel means he'll be on the brakes earlier, and also causes a lot of wheel spin.
4 minus left.
He's having to work hard, but mainly for the benefit of others.
And 4 left.
Meanwhile, Sebastian Loeb has changed his setup and settled into a rhythm. Back on 4 and finding time, he cuts the margin between himself and Martin to just 0.3 of a second by the end of stage 3. Here's his teammate Carlos Sainz. And Sainz runs into another difficulty. In this case, what he ran into was the tyre control board. And time's proving a problem for Harry Rovanperä too. On stage 2 he misheard the split times, thought he was lightning fast and slowed down, losing time and second place. All of which worked to the grand master plan of Marcus Grönholm. As the 2-times world champion moves up to second place, he sets his sights on Peter Solberg. After 3 punctures in stage 1, Solberg's running on the mousse in 2 of his tyres. Still, he won on stage 2, is third on 3, and keeps his lead.
So Solberg still in front, but Marcus Grönholm, now up to second, is whittling away at that lead. Rovanperä is third, Carlos Sainz in fourth. Gilles Panizzi is now the leading Mitsubishi in 9th. His teammate Christian Solberg is now down in 12th. The Cyprus Rally is already showing its teeth. Hard work for the drivers and hard work for the mechanics as well.
Petter, you're leading the rally. How aggressive have you been this morning?
Too aggressive on the first stage, I think, because we ended up with 3 punctures, so we lost too much after that on that stage and the 2 last ones. But still, we came from it quite well.
Just how rough has it been out there?
It's very rough, and we got some information now that it's 10 times worse. So that will be interesting to see.
Marcus, second place after 3 stages. How's it going out there?
It's okay. I was going quite slowly in the first stage in the beginning. Then I saw that the car is okay, and we were speeding up a little bit.
Marco, it's very hot. It's very rough out there. How was it running first on the road?
It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too rough, but it was very slippery. Yes. So it's we lost a bit of time, but okay, we expected to lose time to the guys who are coming further back. So that's the way it is.
Away from the heat of battle on the stages, the island's a haven for holidaymakers. So it's the ideal venue for the teams and sponsors to entertain guests and rally fans. VIPs are wined and dined in style at the service park.
All the best. Thank you very much.
I'm on style.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
Voilà.
As we'll return to the rock and roll of rallying, a helicopter is the only way for special guests to travel. And they can get right into the thick of the action.
So back to the heat, rocks and ruts. Stage 4 is a rerun through stage 1. And Marco Martin is now also benefiting from a clean line. He can now show his true speed.
3 plus left.
And he's almost a minute quicker than the first run through. And Sebastian Loeb, on the edge, improves his time dramatically too. But he isn't as fast as Martin. Up ahead, there's a battle for the lead. With Marcus Gronholm trailing the rally leader Petter Solberg by 5 seconds. He too is faster second time through the stage. But it's not all good news.
Marcus.
No clutch anymore. When I came here, no clutch.
Your time's still pretty good. You're up on Petter on the split, so without a clutch. I don't
care anymore because I have no clutch. So maybe it's finished. Huh?
That won't disappoint Solberg as he tries to face off Gronholm's charge. But he has car concerns of his own. The Mediterranean heat's made life uncomfortable for everyone, but this is heat of a different order. The Subaru's overheating. This slow-mo shows the amount of gravel and stones thrown up by the car. It's this debris getting into the radiator that's causing the engine to overheat. Solberg hasn't retired since Italy last year, and he won't want to call it quits yet.
Petter, you've obviously had a problem. What was it?
Clearly no time to talk. Water is the priority now. And he's fortunate to find a puddle on the island's hot mountains. But he's hemorrhaging time. And it can only get worse as he has 2 more stages to drive before service.
Do that side, I'll do the side.
Petter, you came to the stage, ended the stage very slowly and you'd lost a lot of time. What's the problem?
The engine was overheating, and I had over 135 degrees. I turned off the response and tried to calm down. We stopped into the stage also twice to clean the radiator, and but it didn't work. We are cleaning it as much as possible now, what we can do, and let's hope and see if we can still continue.
All of which is good news for others. Amongst them, Carlos Sainz. As Solberg slips down the leaderboard, the Spaniard, second fastest on the stage, moves up a place to third, but at a price. Look at the damage on these tyres. After just 38 kilometres, they're worn down to the canvas. Sainz won't be the only driver with this problem, but that doesn't ease his frustration. And Harry Rovanperä too benefits from Solberg's problems. He moves back up to second, making it a Peugeot 1-2. So the two Peugeots top the table, with Carlos Sainz close behind. It's looking good for the 307s in Cyprus. But what about Marcus Grönholm's failing clutch? This isn't looking good. Grönholm and co-driver Timo Rautiainen need a helping horde to get going on the road section. And the repairs look somewhat rudimentary. The problem means he has to ease his car away from the start line, and this will cost him time. What's worse, he'll have to drive conservatively. A spin and a stall could cost him everything. Former rally leader Peter Solberg is still struggling. With the engine heat reaching its limit, he has no option but to drive slowly.
Yeah, Phil. Okay, we stopped now. It can hardly drive now. It's on 137.
Carlos Sainz passing him for the second stage in a row. But he has this man, Sebastian Loeb, as well as Marco Martin breathing down his neck. And Loeb is making the most of the improved settings on the Citroën. Remember, he's just 8.7 seconds behind Martin. 10 seconds faster. He takes fourth place and is now just a second and a half behind his teammate Sainz.
Okay, Daniel.
So, on to the final stage of day one. And for Martin, it's the last chance of the day to regain fourth place from Loeb. Can he catch him? He wins the stage, but by just 0.4 of a second. Carlos Sainz on those worn tyres is under threat from both Martin and his own teammate Sebastian Loeb. He can't hold them off, dropping 2 places to 5th. Up ahead, Marcus Grönholm still has that clutch problem to contend with.
If we have a problem in the start, yes, but we pass the white line, yes, then you are allowed to push us. Yes. All the marshals can push, but not the spectators. Yes. And push hard.
Timo Rautiainen clarifying with the marshals exactly when and where they can get help. They're into the stage, but at a snail's pace. And to add to Grönholm's woes, his tyres are also wearing badly. This will cost him more time. Teammate Harry Rovanperä is second overall. So far he's having a trouble-free drive and is third fastest on the stage, cutting 7 seconds out of Grönholm's lead.
Grönholm will be relieved to get to the end of the day with his lead intact, but the gap to teammate Rovanperä down to 10.7 seconds. With Loeb, Martin and Sainz all within 27 seconds of Grönholm, it's still anybody's rally. Peter Solberg ended the day in 11, 2 places behind big brother Henning. Solberg's fall from grace may act as a warning to the leading duo.
Every top 5 car sure is fighting all day tomorrow, and we look what we can do.
A 10-second lead tomorrow is not a big lead at all in Cyprus.
No, it's nothing, and it's a long way to go. So still, it's everything is open.
Only one works car out on day one, but Cyprus has presented plenty of problems for the drivers. There are sure to be more on day 2. Only 9 AM, but it's already 26 degrees centigrade, and the leading drivers are feeling the heat of battle.
Early leader Peter Solberg's hot under the collar after yesterday's overheating problems. This guard should stop any more dust and stones getting into the radiator.
3, 2, 1.
He's dropped down the field, but as in Mexico when he plummeted to 13th, he rises to the challenge and wins the first stage of the day. Carlos Sainz had a disappointing end to day 1. And starts day 2 unable to improve on 5th place. In the only remaining manufacturer's forward, Marco Martin is trying to put pressure on 3rd place Sebastian Loeb. But though faster than Sainz, he can't gain ground on Loeb. The Frenchman, after his 2 wins to start the season, has picked up just 5 points over the last 2 rallies. But now that he's in his rhythm, he extends his narrow lead over Martin and targets Harry Rovanperä in second.
734 plus vraiment pas corde, ferme 90 plus Milo. Et droite à fond intérieur. Ouvre et ferme frein.
The Finn knows he's under threat from Loeb and doesn't want to let teammate Gronholm increase his advantage. But here he's running into trouble. The car stalls as he tries to change down to 2nd gear, and now he's unable to use 2nd when downshifting. That will cost him time. Rovanperä's problem helps Marcus Gronholm to widen his leading margin. A smooth run, 2nd on stage 7, 1st overall.
Gronholm extends his lead to 16.8 seconds following Rovanperä's problems. Loeb in 3rd is just 1.8 seconds ahead of Marco Martin. This could be the battle to watch today. Petter Solberg's now back to full power, but he couldn't improve on 11th position.
The WRC travels all over the world, facing extreme cold in the frozen forests and snowbound roads of Sweden, and extreme heat on the rock-strewn, twisty tracks of Cyprus, the slowest event of the year.
These continuous low speeds produce far less airflow through the engine's cooling system and the interior of the car. Heat buildup on all the major components is much higher on Rally Cyprus. The exhaust manifold reaches a massive 1000 degrees centigrade. That's 5 times hotter than a cooking oven. In an attempt to counteract this heat buildup, the team's engineers increase the size of the front air dam. This dramatically improves the airflow to cool the engine. They also direct fresh air onto the drivers via the front of the roof vent. Finally, mirrored glass is fitted on the side and rear windows to reflect the sun's rays.
But it's not only the cars that suffer. Inside the cockpit, the drivers are trapped in the scorching temperatures. No aircon, as that lessens power. The only relief, to get out and strip off.
All this excessive heat and the high ambient temperatures makes the crew's cockpit like a sauna at 50 degrees centigrade.
And it's compounded by the layers of regulation fireproof clothing they have to wear. The teams have various tricks to combat the heat, like keeping the crew's overalls in the freezer and providing showers in the service park. They also make sure that the crews have plenty of glucose-rich rehydration drinks to keep them on top form. So, heat and dust everywhere, but here there's water too. Christian Solberg looks like he's slowing down for a leisurely dip, but his flashing hazards suggest there's something wrong. The fans are hoping for a spectacular splash. Alas, no. Solberg stops for emergency repairs, but he can't complete the stage. His rally's over. The stage is causing all sorts of problems for manufacturers and privateers alike. Petter Solberg's brother, Henning, for example, has lost his intercom. Kato Menkerud using hand signals to direct the driver. Even the rally leader, Marcus Gronholm's not immune from trouble. This stage is 30 kilometres of tyre-chewing gravel, and the car's handling suggests that the tyres are suffering.
Marcus, you came to the end of stage 8 and you're a little bit agitated talking with the Michelin people. What was the problem?
There was one wheel was from the rim, tire from the rim, and the car was quite bad handling, so I didn't know exactly what was the problem.
Teammate Harry Rovanperä is faring even worse with that gearbox problem. It's costing him time, perhaps enough to put him behind Sebastian Loeb and Marco Martin.
Harry, you dropped time at the end of the first stage today. You've dropped a lot of time in here. What's the problem?
Yes, gearbox is in the first stage is I lose the second gear. I can use that in acceleration, but not in the braking point, and sometimes.
Martin, meanwhile, is involved in a fierce duel with Loeb. Making the most of his improved road position on day 2, he sets a tremendous time. And Loeb has his work cut out to keep him at bay, especially since his first gear isn't working. But that's really only a problem on the very tightest of corners. He has a lead over Martin of just 1.8 seconds. He's not going to keep it. No, he's dropped behind, but thanks to Rovanperä's slow time, he stays in third place.
It's very difficult to have some problem with the gearbox. I had no first gear, only from 2 to the 6. So in the hairpin it's difficult not to stop the engine, and we were careful in every very slow places, but no, it's okay.
So how do gearbox problems affect performance?
Rovanperä is only using third gear, and on the faster sections he's virtually unaffected. But under braking on slow corners and acceleration afterwards, he is losing a lot of time. Loeb is also struggling on these very slow corners as he can't select first gear. Just look how Martin accelerates away.
So Marcus Gronholm's still out in front. Marco Martin and Sebastian Loeb complete the top 3 and provide a dramatic duel to tease the spectators. Down in 8th, Gilles Panizzi would be pleased to finish. Especially after both Mitsubishis retired after the first stage in New Zealand. But he has to stop on the road section after stage 9, and like Christian Solberg, engine problems end his rally. As for Petter Solberg, getting into the points would be a result. After that overheating problem cost him 9.5 minutes on day 1.
The very narrow 2 right minus, tightens on the crest.
But now he's off the road, trying too hard. He's overshot a deceptive junction. That was
2 right minus, tightens on the crest. The 6 right and short for left.
His teammate Mikko Hirvonen has become more assured. And now he's coming to that bend where Solberg had his moment. Oh no, the same mistake, and it's not easy to slow down on those big round boulders. He's recovered quickly. No recovery for Harry Rovanperä. He's still dogged by that gearbox problem and drops another 30 seconds, falling to 5th overall. Which gives Carlos Sainz a much needed boost, and he moves up to 4th. Marco Martin was making no inroads to the lead of Gronholm.
Minus left and 3 plus right. 50, flat right, 30, junction 3 minus right slow.
And a bent steering arm after that impact means that he risks losing his second place to Sebastian Loeb, even though the Citroën driver's been struggling with his gears. But Loeb has been able to tweak the car and now has his first gear back. There's Martin's time, and Loeb is just 2.4 seconds behind overall. He's definitely quicker. Yes, 9.5 seconds faster. He's taken second place.
As the cars head to service, there's plenty of work for the mechanics at both Citroën and Ford. But in the context of this battle, which has been really tight all rally, that was a big stage for Sebastian Loeb.
We are now second, so 20 seconds behind Marcus. It's 7 in front of Marco Martin, so it's okay. I'm happy for the moment.
Unfortunately, on the last stage we hit the something inside the corner and bent the steering arm, so it was very difficult to drive most of the stage. So unfortunately, came too much time away. But okay, still Sebastian is not out of reach. So I think everything is possible.
With the flexi system used this year, each team can service only one car at a time. Due to Harry Rovanperä being late out of service following repairs to his gearbox, the mechanics have not had a second to rest before they get to work on Marcus Grönholm's car. The pressure's on to get the job done.
Harry Rovanperä left the service park about 30 seconds before you arrived. These guys are working so hard behind you.
Yeah, they are working. It's amazing, and okay, hopefully we can finish now.
You're going to buy them a beer after?
I think so, or two.
Stage 10, and Marcus Grönholm's out in front with a lead of more than 20 seconds. This is an event renowned for its car-breaking nature, so does he hold back?
Hidas.
Not a bit.
7. Oikein
He's
pitkä
driving
hidas
aggressively.
kirraa.
Going really wide in
Toista pitkä
places.
hidas kirraa. 5. Vaseri helppo.
But that maverick style,
7.
if it
Vaseri
doesn't lead to
tiukka kiven
disaster,
sisällä.
does bring rewards.
7 ja
Grönholm
huomio
extends his lead
vasen
over
laita
second
oikein
place
hidas
Sebastian
takavino.
Loeb by 2.5 seconds. So no changes to the top 3, but Grönholm's teammate Harry Rovanperä has a 30-second time penalty for leaving service late, and Petter Solberg is finally back in the points. The huge Saturday crowds gathered round the main water splash caused stage 11 to be cancelled. So, on to the last stage of the day. Somebody who never gives up, Petter Solberg. The defending world champion will fight to the end, and at this rate, he's third on stage and a minute faster than 7th placed Janne Tuohino. He could move up at least a place on day 3. His teammate Mikko Hirvonen scored points in the last 2 events and looks set to again here, but the young driver is still showing more potential than performance.
Pitkä nyt oikein eri mene, 210.
As for Harry Rovanperä, 1 place above Hirvonen in 5th, it's been something of a fall from grace. Remember, he was 2nd at the start of the day. Carlos Sainz, the only driver here to have finished all 4 Cyprus rallies, looks solid in 4th. Ahead, Marco Martin still seems unable to put pressure on Sebastian Loeb in 2nd. Ford have a good record on rough rallies, and the team won the first 2 events here in Cyprus.
40
Martin's
crest,
best result here is 6th.
camber.
He's well placed to do better than that, but
30,
can be
5
better
right,
Loeb.
5 left, 33 plus left long.
It was okay, better than the first time. So you guys got 1 day to go now, maximum to get Sebastian?
Yes, we need to try to beat Sebastian tomorrow, yes.
As for Loeb, a strong end to a good day in the Troodos Mountains. He's 4.4 seconds ahead of Martin overall, remember, and he's quicker than him here. That extends the gap between them to more than 10 seconds, and he's the stage winner to boot.
Sebastian, you've been pushing hard in that stage. Got a heat gun here to see how hard and how hot it is in that car.
It registered 57 degrees centigrade.
That's quite hot in there then, isn't it? No wonder you're sweating.
Yes, it's very hot, but it was okay. I tried to push very hard in this one. In the last one, Marco was faster than me, so he was coming closer. And now in the last of the day, I like this stage. It's fast and good rhythm, so I try to push very hard, and I've done a good time.
Up ahead still is Marcus Grönholm. So could this be a maiden victory for the 307?
Well, Marcus has driven very well on this event so far, and having won the event back in 2002, he knows exactly what he has to do tomorrow. But he's had technical issues with his car on the first day, so the 307 is not 100% reliable. And even if the car does run perfectly, it would only take 1 rogue rock to damage the car, and that 23-second lead could quickly disappear.
So here's how it looks with 1 day and just 6 stages to go in Rally Cyprus via Inmarsat. If the leaderboard still looks like this at the end of the event, Marcus Grönholm will be leading the World Championship.
Marcus, you've been leading all day, but how hard have you been pushing?
Okay, I was trying, but okay, no big risks, but fast, yes. But I couldn't take much time at all today.
What about tomorrow? Is it going to be the maiden win for the 307?
We all hope for that, I think, in the team, and also, of course, I want to win. So we now really cross the fingers that the car will work tomorrow.
The big question remains, will Gronholm hold his nerve through the final day in the dust and heat of the Cyprus mountains?
Okay, we are cool, boys.
While holidaymakers have been soaking up the sun, the drivers have been soaking up the sweat in the heated battle for championship points. And the fans have loved every minute of the action, as Marcus Gronholm has been showing his rivals a clean pair of heels.
But Gronholm and the Peugeot team do have some cause for concern. More gearbox problems for Harry Rovanperä. The mechanics change it for a reconditioned one, as each car is allowed only 2. It was a 10-minute flexi service. The mechanics took 13, an impressive feat, but the additional 3 minutes mean another 30-second time penalty for Rovanperä.
Vasen helppo jatkaa vasen eri plus sisältä huomio 3, vasen K plus rytky älä.
So, as his teammate, the leader Gronholm, anxiously waits to begin the final day in his defence of the lead, it's a struggle right from the start for Rovanperä in the second Peugeot. And things just get worse.
The gearbox is in from yesterday, isn't it? How has it performed?
Not so well. We have the problem all the time and we try coming very careful.
Petter Solberg is far from tense, enjoying some quality time with brother Henning. Solberg Jr.'s task for the day is to overhaul Yannick Tuahino, more than 50 seconds ahead of him in 7th place. And Tuahino's having a spot of bother. His suspension's damaged and the car's just not handling well. In these conditions, the car needs to be responsive and agile. It's not. Tuahino's off the road. That's a great help to Solberg.
Cut short for right, opens 30 short, 3 right. Opens 6, half long, cut deep in 21 left minus half long, 3 out.
The Norwegians are unlikely to progress further unless Mikko Hirvonen, his teammate here in 6th place overall, lets him past. Or as here, loses time. In the remaining Ford, Marco Martin's personal duel with 2nd place Sebastian Loeb continues. Martin's aim is to chip away at the 11 seconds separating them. But Loeb has other plans. He picks up where he left off at the end of day 2 and pulls further ahead of Martin. But is he fast enough to trouble the leader, Marcus Gronholm?
Gauche 60 plus Milan. 50 mètres.
And is Gronholm worrying about his gearbox? Or worrying about the 307's reliability? If he is, there's little sign of it. The telemetry shows Gronholm's speed. Believe it or not, this is one of the fastest sections of the stage. Even so, it's half the speed you'd see on most rallies. He's on different tyres to the other Michelin drivers. Will his choice pay off? You can see Loeb's speed the fastest so far, but Gronholm is blitzing his time. The Finn's flying. On the first stage of the day, Gronholm's 17.5 seconds faster than anyone else. That was an awesome drive.
Marcus, that's maximum attack in there. That's some time.
Yeah, I want to kill them in the morning. Now I have to save the car.
He can protect the car, but he can't do anything if the gearbox fails him. Peugeot are the only manufacturer using the 4-speed gearbox, which was designed to be fast on slow and twisty stages.
Exactly. The team's engineers had worked out that the 4-speed gearbox should be less gear changes through the slow corners, and they calculated that every 15 changes loses them 1 second in time.
And you've been looking at the number of gear changes made by the leading 3 drivers.
Yes, on the most twisty stage of this rally, Sebastian Loeb made 420 26 gear changes with his 6-speed transmission. Marco Martin's Ford made a similar number with his 6-speed gearbox. But Grönholm's 4-speed 307 made 536. That's an incredible 134 more than the Ford. Now, I'm sure that's not what the Peugeot engineers had in mind. Add to that the reliability issues with the gearbox on this rally, and their new 5-speed transmission that is waiting in the wings cannot come too soon for Marcus Grönholm.
5 stages and just under 60 kilometres left for Grönholm to manage in the 4-speed 307 before he can claim victory. The battle for second and third is still very much alive between Sebastian Loeb and Marco Martin.
But the rally leader doesn't have everything his own way. He does report a slight problem with his gearbox in stage 14, but still manages to win it and comes second in stage 15, maintaining his healthy lead with just 3 stages to go. Marco Martin continues to spar for second place. He takes 1.7 seconds out of Sebastian Loeb on stage 14 and sets Marco up to level 15, knowing he has to make his move. So Loeb has to respond. It's only the sitting's second attempt at the Cyprus rally, and remember how the team were unhappy with the setup of the Zara in New Zealand. But there seems little wrong here. He's certainly close to Martin's time. He betters it. Loeb's now 13.5 seconds ahead. The defending world champion, Peter Solberg, started the rally just 3 points off the championship lead, so every point counts. Power steering problems for Mikko Hirvonen ahead of him in 6th place, means Solberg closes to within 53 seconds of his teammate.
16, 1. Mikko, your hands tell a story. What happened out there?
It was in the end of the long stage. We went off just a bit and broke the stove. Had a big hit in a stone and broke the power steering and steering in a car. So it was a bit hard work.
Sebastian, still some fight left in this rally. Marco Martin says he's going to chase you every inch of the way.
Yes, sure. It's a big fight between Marco and me. Now Marcus has gone a bit away, so it will be very difficult to catch him. But sure, we have Marco just behind. He's pushing hard to try to come back, so we have to continue to push, and we'll see after the 3 next stages.
3 stages to go. What do you think? Is it going to be your victory and the first victory for the 307?
Yeah, I hope so. Normally it should be okay, this gap, but you never know, so we have to wait to the end.
Off the top of your head, can you remember how long it is since you've won a rally?
Yeah, it's in Argentina 1 year ago, so it's a long time ago.
It would be nice.
Yeah, so we hope for that.
So Grönholm's lead is now just under 43 seconds. There's a much closer gap between Loeb and Martin, while Petter Solberg now has Hirvonen firmly in his sights. Over stages 16 and 17, Marcus Grönholm maintains his impressive pace. He's consistently fast and smooth, extending his overall lead to 50 seconds. His second Cyprus victory is almost within his grasp. In second place overall, Sebastian Loeb is under pressure from Marco Martin, but over stage 16, he's 5 seconds faster. And on 17, he's joint stage winner with Grönholm. 8 drivers' points could well be his. As for Martin, he knows he stands a chance until the very end. There's always time for drama in a rally like this. But in this case, it's drama of the sort Martin doesn't want.
Right.
He becomes the latest victim of gearbox failure.
We had an oil leak in the system, and now the gearbox has no oil left. So it's already second stage. Gearbox temperature like 170, so it's not looking good.
Full left
Petter
minus.
Solberg has
Half
6th
long.
place on his
Opens
mind,
14.
which means reeling in his young teammate Mikko Hirvonen. Solberg's nearly 53 seconds behind the Finn at the start of stage 16. He takes 30 seconds from him over that stage and takes 6th place on stage 17, despite a spectator throwing rocks on the road.
You see, that guy put rocks in the road.
Yeah, incredible.
Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
290 kilometres down and just 10 more to go, with Marcus Grönholm protecting a lead of just over 50 seconds. He hasn't won a rally for a year, his last victory coming in Argentina, so a win is long overdue for a driver as talented as he is.
So to the last stage of the Cyprus rally. Mikko Hirvonen in 7th is set for a 3rd consecutive point-scoring finish, and he's half the content of the championship, with 8 points in total after 5 rallies. His Subaru teammate Petter Solberg has risen from 11th to 6th over 12 stages.
Opens and line into 2, right minus.
And he's finishing just as he started, very fast.
Opens 80.
Harry Rovanpera's gearbox gremlins continued. He was 2nd after stage 7, remember, so to finish 7 minutes off the lead in 5th place will be a disappointment. A solid performance by Carlos Sainz, 4th overall, but if the Spaniard wants to play a part in the championship race, he'll have to manage some stronger performances than he has so far this season. Marco Martin said he'd have to nurse the Focus home.
80 crest and
But
6
in the
minus
end, he managed
right
to be 2nd quickest on the final stage.
6 left don't cut into 3 plus right long.
He couldn't improve on 3rd place though.
4
his World
minus
Championship
left.
lead could well be lost.
6 minus right don't cut. 40, 3 left tightens to 3.
Sebastian Loeb is 19 seconds ahead of Martin going into stage 18. And a steady run sees him comfortably home. After 2 disappointing rallies, 2nd place is definitely his, but he'll only win if Marcus Grönholm has a problem.
Spécial terminé pour Daniel.
Overall, to finish 2nd is very important for me because I can score a lot of points for the championship, but that's the most important, I think. Well done. Thank you.
And Grönholm is looking confident. Even on this slow rally, he's showing his pace.
Absolutely.
Please.
Marcus and his 307 has more stage wins so far this season than any other driver car combination. And if he wins today, the 307 will have won its first event in only 5 outings. Their old car, the incredibly successful 206, took 8 events before its first victory.
Yeah. Stage is clear for Marcus.
A big relief for Peugeot, but more so for Grönholm.
Marcus and Timo, thank you very much for having decided to bring me to the FIA press conference along with you. And I have a question for you. How do you like the 307 WRC? Please answer.
Thank you, Corrado. Thank you. We like the 307 very much, and I also like to thank all the engineers and all the mechanics because I know how hard work you have done during the last months, and this is the prize for that. Thank you, everybody.
Marcus, first win in 12 months, first win for the 307, you must be very happy.
Yes, it's very good. Yeah, I am very happy. First win for the car, and for me, yes, it has been a long time without win, and very good.
So there's confirmation of the result. Grönholm the winner by 54 seconds. And in the end, Loeb was a comfortable winner in the battle with Martin for 2nd. Every point is vital in the World Championship race, and those 3 points for Petter Solberg keep him in touch.
Marcus, championship leader now, and that all-important win for the 307.
Yeah, it was now in the right time to win, and we have been waiting for it, and so many troubles. I mean, in the end of the last year with the old car and in the beginning with the new car, but that is normal with the new car. But the potential was always there in the car, but we had some problem with the transmission and things like that.
Do you think that now there's a bit less pressure on you? You've done it. You've got that first win.
No, I didn't feel pressure because I knew that we can do it, but someday. But okay, for the team they had the pressure, yes, for sure.
It took us 8 rallies before winning with the 206. It shows that due to the fact that the competition levels is much higher than at that time, it shows that really the car is competitive, very competitive. Consequently, I think that we are really back.
Grönholm has leapt from third place to the top of the championship table, a point ahead of Loeb and 2 ahead of Marco Martin. Ford still lead the way in the manufacturer's standings, but this championship is looking every bit as interesting as the individual drivers' table. The Inmarsat Star of the Rally Award goes to Michel Nandan, Peugeot's chief engineer, for solving the power steering problems that plagued them in the season's opening rallies. So many corners in the Cyprus stages, it was vital that power steering performed. Next stop on the WRC travelling tour is not too far away. We're heading just across the water to Greece. Defending world champion Peter Solberg is also the defending Greece rally winner. But here in Cyprus, he's had to concede that double world champion Marcus Grönholm has proved he's still got what it takes, masterminding the first victory in the 307. So it's goodbye from Cyprus, but in the meantime, keep up to date with all the news on the official website at WRC.com.